Good afternoon, everybody. For Capital City Sports, I'm Patrick DeMarre.
Good afternoon, everybody. For Capital City Sports, I'm Patrick DeMarre.
What are you guys doing here?
I'm Patrick DeMarre.
I'm Patrick DeMarre.
You're Patrick DeMarre?
I'm Patrick DeMarre.
I'm Patrick DeMarre.
Are we live?
Who are
Is
you?
Patrick DeMarre?
Get out of here.
Okay, we're
Roll
going.
the tape. Roll the tape. Good afternoon, Gamecock Nation, and welcome to Capital City Sports. My name's Patrick DeMarre, and I am your host for this week. We've got plenty of Gamecock Athletics action to talk about, but we're going to start our show off today with softball. The Gamecocks cracked the top 10 of the national rankings after a series sweep of Tennessee last weekend, and they look to continue their winning ways against the Furman Paladins on Wednesday night. Matthew Edwards was at Beckham Field with a highlight.
Here at Beckham Field, the Lady Gamecocks look to continue their 4-game win streak as they are coming off a 3-game sweep of the number 2 team in the nation, Tennessee Lady Volunteers. Tonight they would take on the Furman Paladins here on a much warmer Wednesday evening. Freshman pitcher Kelsey O shined in the circle for the Gamecocks, getting early strikeouts and keeping the Paladins off the board. Coming off SEC Player of the Week honor, Tiara Duffy knocks a triple off the wall in left center field with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. This would later prove to be the difference in the game for the Gamecocks. Kelsey O would continue to be masterful in the circle as she allowed only 3 hits in her complete game shutout. She would get help from her defense as Jenna Johns snags a pop-up bunt and then throws to first to double off the Furman base runner in the top of the 5th. Shortstop Kenzie McGuire would field a hard ground ball to put the nail in the coffin. The Gamecocks shut out the Paladins by a final score of 1-0, moving the Gamecocks to 29-4 on the season. The Lady Gamecocks extend their home record to an undefeated 15-0, behind Tiara Duffy's 4th inning triple and a stellar pitching performance by Kelsey O. The Gamecocks will travel to Texas A&M this weekend to take on the Aggies in a 3-game set. For Capital City Sports, I'm Matthew Edwards.
Last but certainly not least, the Garnet and Black Spring game took place at Williams-Brice Stadium on Saturday afternoon. Gamecock fans already can't wait for next football season, and the spring game gives them an opportunity to see what new recruits and new veterans will bring to the table.
Gamecock baseball was in full swing today at Founders Park, but we were at Williams-Brice Stadium taking a look at what the Gamecock football team has for us in store next season at the annual Garnet and Black Spring game. Eli, give us a little bit of what happened there.
Well, Jack, the Black team ended up beating the Garnet team 34-20. Although that was to be expected as the starters were the main contributors on the Black team. Jake Bentley ended up leading the offense of the Black team with 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards passing, so he seems to be keeping up his progression from last year.
He had 2 touchdown connections, as you said, one to Jacob August, who is looking to fulfill the main tight end role for next season, and another rekindling his chemistry with Brian Edwards on a 19-yard touchdown pass late in the second half. The Garnet team tried to keep up with a couple rushing touchdowns from Deshaun Fenwick.
One from Deshaun Fenwick, a talented freshman out of Georgia.
And he actually scored for the Black team as well there at the end of the game. And then on the longest play of the day, Michael Skarnecchia connected with A.J. Turner on a 49-yard touchdown pass to try to bring them within scoring range.
And that play probably came from a good bit of confidence as Michael Skarnecchia has secured the backup position for this team.
We still got to see some plays from Jay Urich and
Carry on Joyner.
Of course, but
talented freshman coming out of Charleston.
They didn't seem to be in full swing today.
No, not quite. There was actually an injury bug that may have gone around for both of them, so they might have been fighting through something, but they still played well. On the defensive end of the ball for the Black team, Rosendo Lewis, a talented All-American coming out of high school, ended up leading the team with 5 tackles. And he is supposed to replace Sky Moore on this team coming in this year, or at least contribute to try and replace Sky Moore. I don't know if he can do it straight up.
That's a big role to fill.
But he did a good job today and gave some hope that he could fulfill that role.
A lot of exciting things happening at Gamecock football. For Capital City Sports, I'm Jack Taylor.
I'm Eli Brand.
That's all we have for this week's episode of Capital City Sports. Once again, my name's Patrick DeMarre. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at CCS on SGTV. We'll see you guys next week.